Hello, I'm Josh Mason from the Detox Dudes. Today, we are going to be talking about getting in touch with your killer. I don't really love this angle. Yeah, it's alright, fuck it. Men, this video is specifically for you. You know, there is a huge self-help industry in many different arenas, okay? Health, relationships, business, and plenty of others. And what I've found is that there's one way to improve all of these areas of your life without spending money, okay? Getting in touch, okay, men, get in touch with your killer inside. Okay? Get in touch with your inner animal. All men need to get in touch with their inner animal, their inner killer. Okay? It actually makes you more trustworthy. We've been trained and we've been taught in this society to be basically emasculated, okay? And to completely run away from that place inside that is capable of killing or fucking or, fighting, dominating, conquering. So when you don't get in touch with that energy actually ends up owning you, and your life becomes a roundabout gymnastics of how you're not facing or acknowledging or owning that part of you, and that part just runs the show. That becomes your shadow piece that runs the show. And it's a reservoir of untapped life force, okay? That is not available to you if you're not in touch with it, or in flow with it, or in control of it. Control might not be the best word. It's more so developing a relationship with it. So, there's a lot of men who are looking to have success with women. And that was my motivation for filming this video, is thinking about all of the men who want success with women. And all of the lengths that men will go to get it. Spending thousands of dollars on workshops, going to talk to hundreds of girls on the street, pickup artistry, right? That was a whole big thing that I did. And the conclusion I eventually came to is that the more in touch you are with your belly, your animal, your killer, the less mental gymnastics you have to do in any of these subjects of life, okay? The less women you have to talk to. You don't have to approach hundreds of women. That inner animal will actually bring you and know what it wants. You don't have to even talk to the girl. Right? You don't even have to go on the street and talk to her because she's physically attractive. Because there's the physical attraction, and then there's a whole other vibration. That's the tip of the iceberg, is the physical attraction. There's a whole world of information that the typical mind isn't able to download. Gigabytes and terabytes and trillions of terabytes that are there that we don't have the vision for in our ordinary mental consciousness that current society is at. Of course, you do the detox and you start working on your life, and your vision starts opening, and you can see and feel energy. In which point in time, you don't need to talk to hundreds of women, because you know that one that you have to talk to. And so that inner animal, not only does it know what it wants, but it's able to get what it wants because of its certainty, because of its intensity, because of its relentlessness. Now, granted, every man has a spectrum of an animal inside, right? Not every man is going to have a killer inside the way, to be quite frank with you, it requires a killer to become, a world-class jiu-jitsu athlete. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? There's just no way around it. Every world-class jiu-jitsu athlete that I've ever met is just an absolute killer inside, right? So I've had to cultivate that in a way of fighting. Now I believe I'm cultivating it in different ways. But not every man is at that place of an animal, right? One man's full-on animal could still be like much more mellow and perhaps not as violent or intense or fiery. So the essence is not to compare oneself or compare ourselves from man to man and say he's more of a killer, therefore he's going to get more. It's more so for each individual to reach their edge and reach their ability to connect with their own animal, however that animal may be, in its own unique, beautiful way. But the point is that through a cultivation and developing a relationship with that energy and becoming in tune with it, your whole essence changes. The way you speak changes. The way that you speak to a woman changes. The ability to choose you versus choosing the gymnastics is heightened. See, we all have these gymnastics that happen in situations of stress, whether you're talking to a woman or a job interview. There's these neurological pathways that go towards nervousness, anxiousness, stuttering, not having clarity, whatever it may be. And the problem is that when someone's consciousness is totally in their mind, it's choosing that versus choosing other gymnastics or choosing different gymnastics. No, don't be stressed, be this. No, don't do that, do this. If there's not actually something anchored even lower, see, did you feel my consciousness that talking like this, and this, okay, and then anchored lower when I said that, lower, it's like the consciousness actually is lower. So it's much easier when your consciousness is lower to not choose any of that bullshit, right? And that's what gets in the way of 99% of the time. What gets in the way of you trying to get the woman of your dreams is the bullshit neurotic pathways that kick in, that everyone has. It's not the pathways that are the problem. It's the ability to not choose them. Let me tell you, the best of the best, okay, the best of the best in terms of dudes who are getting high quality women or whatever, the best pickup artists, or I don't even believe those are the men who are getting the highest quality women. I think a man who's radically authentic and vulnerable and honest and in his animal is going to get a way higher quality woman. And what's higher quality? Who knows? For me, it's authenticity and inner beauty and integrity and feminine lust and energy and healing energy and whatever. That's to each their own. But so those qualities, so all of those things in a man is what's going to actually attract the woman of your dreams. But when you're in that interaction where you're speaking to her or you're texting her or calling her, or you're in that beginning phase of cultivating a relationship and showing who you are, it's not about not having gymnastics. Every man and woman is having the same bullshit neuroses kick in. Does he like me? Does he not like me? Am I cool enough? Am I good looking enough? Should I text now? Should I text later? Should I call now? Should I call later? What if he's doing this? What if he's doing that? What if he's not into me? Thousands and thousands of thoughts that come your way. Those thoughts, everyone has them. Everyone. And let me tell you, if you don't, and if they don't, they're simply not open enough. Okay? A man who's truly open is going to be having all of those thoughts. If a man wants to pretend that he's this alpha machismo dude and take it or leave it, I'm the man, you know, you're lucky to be with me. If he really rests on those thoughts, I promise you, somewhere deep, deep down in the shadows that he has no contact with, it's the exact opposite. Okay? And it's a scared little boy that he's just absolutely not in touch with. The more machismo the man, the bigger the boy running the show. The bigger that little boy running the show is a better way to put it. So the way to get the woman of your dreams, the way to woo a woman or to attract her, especially in the beginning, and this is not a strategy, this is more merely a way of being, is to get deeper in touch with your animal. It's the funniest thing. I used to feel like if I brought my animal forward, that people would be scared of me, or that people would not trust me, or that people would think I was too much and too intense, and I would bring my consciousness up into my heart, and I would talk like, you know, I would just be more up in my heart in interactions. Like a perfect example is like, you know, looking for homes. I've met 40 different people in the past month searching for a new home in Santa Cruz. So I'm putting vision on the way I am in the world, right? And the way I come across in the world. And there's this constant pull towards being something different because I want them to like me and I want them to choose me if I like the place, right? But what I'm learning, my point here is that what I'm learning is that actually the killer, the animal, that belly that comes out is the most trusted of all parts of me. Even if it's not pleasant, even if it's not the most liked, even if it's a little intimidating, it's actually the most trusted. Versus when I go out in my heart or I'm in my mind and I'm just like, oh, love for all, peace and love to all beings, it's actually like that part actually doesn't command respect. And it's somehow, I'm telling you that either if it was a landlord that was, or a job, or a woman, or whatever, something, me needing to be chosen for something, I'm telling you that the belly is going to get what it wants, even if it's not liked, right? So it's trusted. Why? There's probably a slew of biological reasons on why it's trusted. Perhaps if an apocalypse happens tomorrow, you're not going to want to go with someone's heart. You're going to want to go with someone's animal who can keep you alive and help you survive, right? So getting in touch with that inner animal is absolutely crucial if you want to manifest and you want amazing women and entrepreneurship and whatever it is that you're searching for. I'm keeping it in the subject of women because I really enjoy that subject. And there's a lot of bullshit out there, pickup artistry bullshit, that I want to remove all the power from that garbage. And if I can change one man's paradigm today, then I've done a good job of taking thousands of dollars out of pickup artists' pockets. So you get in touch with your animal and then you speak from that place of what you want. That is much more attractive, okay? Your vibe and the space from which you speak is much more important than the actual words that you're saying. You could say all the right things, make all the right noises from a certain place of consciousness, and a woman will feel that. She'll feel how deep you are inside of yourself. Versus you can walk up to a woman and say, I really like you, right? From the deep place, you can say, I find you absurdly attractive. From a deep place, and she's going to resonate with that. Most women. I can't speak for all. It's not about what you say, it's about where you say it from. So how do we get in touch with our animal? Well, I don't have a step-by-step list here, but I'll just start rattling things that come to me, rattling off things that come to my mind. Okay? Walking out in nature naked or in like tight underwear, particularly on the full moon. Okay? Spending time in nature by yourself. Fighting, boxing, jiu-jitsu. Exercise, push-ups, pull-ups, sprints. Not caring about being liked. What's your authentic voice in that situation? Not the voice that wants to be liked. What's your authentic voice? If being liked did not matter, what if being liked did not dictate your survival the way our minds convince us it does? How would you be in the world? That can help you go lower. Doing deep emotional, spiritual work, going to the jungle to drink ayahuasca, iboga, detoxifying, putting iodine on your testicles, liposomal dim to remove estrogen, boosting testosterone, suma root, Tongkat Ali. And now, one more thing. There's a lot of YouTubers, I'm thinking of one guy in particular who I just cringe when I watch his videos. I'm not going to say his name. Big YouTuber. And he's macho man teaching guys how to be alpha man, you know? Just cringe at this dude. He's huge. I would love to fight him. I think I would choke his ass out, even though he's freaking 250 pounds. I've fought people that big, by the way. I should have a whole YouTube playlist of my fight stories back in college. Maybe I'll tell a fight story or two one day. Anyway, back on track here. So this YouTuber, okay, he talks about like being alpha and like raising your testosterone in order to like be more of a man. Okay, let me be very clear. That is not what this is about. It's not about walking into a room and being a machismo and like dominating a room with your machismo energy. Imagine more of a precise laser who's very in tune with his emotions, like a warrior of light, right? Like a Jedi, like a warrior, like a ninja, right? Who's very in touch with his body and his emotions, doesn't need to overcompensate in any way. And it's not pure masculine energy, because pure masculine energy is unanchored. It doesn't, if it's not connected to the heart, anchored to the heart, you're not actually changing the world for the better. Okay? That machismo masculine energy, when we think of boosting testosterone, that's not the goal here. You can boost testosterone, but always tether it to the heart. Okay? Soft and supple and flexible and strong and fierce at the same time. So when I talk about boosting the testosterone and speaking from your animal, you're not an arrogant animal. You're an animal who's connected to his heart and to his emotions and to what he wants. Right? Spine and heart at the same time. So I want to be very clear that it's not about rage and anger and storming into a room and taking what you want. It's about having a flow and a dance between that Mars and the Venus. That Mars go-getting attitude and the receptivity of the Venusian energy. Right? Where you can sit back and let things come to you. But the point is that you can bring your consciousness down. You can om, you can chant, you can cry. And it takes years to go back 2.5 years ago. My consciousness was up higher. My voice was not this deep. And maybe when I say deep, I don't mean like in terms of like the base of it. I mean, maybe that's deep too. I don't know. I can't really tell. It's my own voice, but the place in which I speak from, right? And someday it changes every day, of course. More stress brings me up. But so again, bring your energy down. It's not about boosting testosterone to become more alpha. It's about bringing your energy down, deeper, and going after what you want without any buja. In Argentinian, buja is noise, games. We don't want any games. What is it that you want, right? Get in touch with that, act on it. Forget all the buja. The rest is just gymnastics, right? Am I cool enough? Am I good enough? How did I come across? Did I say the wrong thing? Blah, 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 blah. Down. I'm an animal, and this is what I want. I like that animal. She doesn't like me? Okay, next. So, that is my video for the night. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Send this to a few different pickup artists. Hopefully you can convert them to a more fulfilling lifestyle of authenticity and vulnerability. Okay? Peace.
Summer in the hills, those hazy days I do remember. We were running still, had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were